What's good, y'all? Elvis here, back in with another video. For the people that have been around, they know, I've been cutting hair for a while now, like, bro, 8+ years. I am blessed because up until now, barbering has been my favorite hobby, my favorite pastime. And it also has been something that's fed me spiritually as well as financially. And I've just grown through it in so many different ways. I'm super thankful for the opportunity that I get to be a barber. And this is my main source of income slash my biggest time and energy expense. Blessed. But today I want to talk about why I actually didn't want to be a barber. So I first picked up clippers in middle school, and I was really just cutting hair because I could not afford haircuts, single mother household, you know how that stuff kind of goes. So I started practicing myself, tearing myself up per usual. I was tearing myself up for a while, but then eventually I got good enough to, I wouldn't say actually good, let's say decent enough. I got decent enough to a point where people stopped flaming me up at school. That was nice. So when I got to that point, this was roughly like late middle school, early high school, my little cousins, they wanted haircuts because, nobody can afford haircuts. So I was cutting their hair, and it was a lot easier for me to cut other people's hair than my own. So I really just stopped cutting my own personally. I didn't take haircutting serious until my freshman year of college because, I had work study, a little on-campus job, and anybody that has work study knows it's better than nothing, but it's not taking care of any of your real bills, especially in college. So that's when I decided to make it more of a serious hobby, you know what I'm saying?
Commerce, nigga.
I wasn't even planning on it being that big of a source of income for me. I knew when I picked up clippers, I am never putting these hoes down. I knew for a fact, but I never thought I would make a career out of it. A lot of the misconceptions I had about barbering had to do with all the barbers around me were, no shade, just didn't have a wealth consciousness about them. Everybody was treating it like a hustle. Nobody really had a professionalism about it. You know what I'm saying? Nobody I was around. So it was kind of discouraging in that sense. But then also, whenever I go to the barbershop, there'd always be a bunch of people complaining about baby mama drama, and just they were living lives I didn't want to live. So that really deterred me from pursuing it and taking it seriously. But after about 2-3 years of doing it pretty hard in college, I wasn't making that much at the time, but I knew that I could scale this up to whatever I wanted to do. But before I got to that point, I've been exposed to people that didn't take it serious, even if it was their main thing. They bullshit about it. They conducted business in ways I didn't want to conduct business. They interacted with a bunch of people I didn't care to interact with. Before I got to the point where I decided I wanted to become a professional barber, I thought to be successful as a barber, I had to basically cut hair like people sell weed. I thought to be successful as a barber, I couldn't turn away haircuts. I thought if somebody hit my phone at, let's say, a generally respectable hour, even if it was later in the day and I had stuff going on, I thought if I didn't just drop my priorities and cut just almost anybody's hair, then my business wouldn't grow in the way that I wanted it to. I was like a neighborhood dope cut dealer, you feel me? And I feel like that slowed my growth down a lot because that had me entertaining a bunch of people who, first off, weren't really growing my business, or even I was promoting a culture within my clientele that I didn't even want. And that was the biggest discouraging factor when it came to anytime I wanted to quit cutting hair, which happened maybe 2 or 3 times ever. It was specifically because of the people I was around, not even the haircuts I was doing, because I have fun whenever I cut hair, unless I'm crazy burnt out, which happens occasionally. I was getting burnt out a lot easier dealing with people that didn't have a similar perception of value of my time and energy. Also, just people with shitty vibes. And when you're first starting, there's going to be a lot of, I don't call them clients, I call them customers. When they come in, they don't look at it, oh, I'm exchanging this value for this value. They look at it as, oh, you're working for me. There's a very uppity, condescending vibe with it. That was super fucking discouraging because I had a lot of people in my clientele like that. But I was in a place where I couldn't turn the money away because I was trying to grow the business by any means.
I'm broke, nigga. I'm broke.
But now I'm realizing that those weren't even the people that were my clients for real. The difference between customers and clients customers are people that want your good service. Clients are people that build a relationship with you that transcends the transaction. They're people that are more invested in the relationship with you than just getting the service. Of course, they want that too, but a client will be a lot more respectful generally because your value to them is not specifically based off of just however you would cut their hair. The interaction with you is more important to the client. When I first started cutting hair, I was cutting a lot of people who I'm gonna keep it stacked. The haircuts were really kind of shitty. I might throw in some old haircuts in this video, but the haircuts were pretty shitty, but they kept staying a client because they vibe with me. I went to A&T for chemical engineering. So damn near any STEM kids I came across that wanted haircuts, we clicked. Because, I mean, there might be, let's say, personality differences, but we were similar people in similar positions, and we had a lot of stuff to relate over. The specific characteristics I had built a clientele that resonated with somebody in my position. Most people sit down and get a haircut not by somebody who can sit here and nerd with them about physics and chemistry stuff or anime or just niche things that they like as a specific individual. Most people sit down and get a haircut and it's the person just makes their hair shorter and they don't really have that much of a valuable personable interaction. Or if they do have a personable interaction, it's very, very surface level. There's no problem with that. Some clients don't really want to sit here and kiki and vibe with you. They are here for the service, but the culture of your clientele is built off of the people that you accept within your clientele and the people that those people recommend. And your clients will almost always recommend people that are similar to them. So at first, when I was cutting hair, I was dealing with a lot of people that just only came to me because the price was super appealing, because it was super cheap. And if I'm being honest, I didn't really have any business charging what I consider barbershop prices at the time because my haircuts were not that good. Like, my lineups were pretty decent. My blends, my fades, garbage. But the funny thing about a bad blend is, in a week, what blend? You can't tell. But a fire lineup will save you. And a bad lineup will really take you out the game for a few weeks. So my saving grace with a lot of clients was my lineups were fire. Not what I consider fire now, but fire for that time. And I was doing a lot of resurrection cuts for people that were getting cut across the street from A&T, like from barbers over there. But that's also another thing that got me a lot of clients that valued at least an aspect of my skill. But what usually got them into my clientele is the fact that we could sit here and relate over the same things. Back then, I didn't want to be a barber because I didn't value a lot of the interactions I was seeing between barbers and clients in the environments I was in. Well, I didn't know what a high-value barber looked like, for real. Haircuts were a maintenance thing. It was like an oil change. Like, most people don't care about the specifics of an oil change. They just go to whoever's the cheapest and most convenient most of the time. Because when it comes to an oil change, the relationship with whoever's doing it, it usually is not that important. It's such a common maintenance thing that damn near everybody needs. Whoever's convenient, whoever's available, whoever has the most appealing prices, usually gonna get your business for that. But around my third year of cutting hair at A&T, seriously, I got tired of people bullshitting with my time, coming in with 3-week-old wave grease in their hair. People that didn't really care about their hair, that weren't a good representation of my work, who were bringing in clients that also disrespected my time. People would be all like, oh, I'm on the way walking from suites across campus. Then 30 minutes later, where you at? Them niggas either didn't show up or they pulled up 45 minutes later like that shit's cool. No, get the fuck out of my business. Once I started implementing late fees and things to deter people that don't respect my time and energy, and then also when I raised my price, I literally raised my price from $12 to $15. I lost over half my clients. Back then, I was nervous. But now, thank God, good riddance, because most people are not your clients. 80% of your business is going to become from 20% of the people that sit in your chair. And that 20% tends to be your dedicated clientele. And those people tend to recommend other people that you would have a high client retention with. Most of the people that are your dedicated clients are people that you have a certain level of rapport and resonance with. And the people that they're friends with tend to be similar people. So their recommendations to their friends are going to hold a lot more weight than just people that value you for your convenience. So when people recommend their friends to me, more often than not, because I'm damn near friends with all my clients, the people that they're friends with are more likely to be my clients than anybody. But now I'm realizing, going through the different stages of me evolving into different versions of myself, barbering has grown as I've grown. Now I'm not super attached to being a professional barber, if I'm being honest, but I'm realizing barbering is a thing that can fit whatever role you need it to. It can be your main chick, it can be your side chick, you feel me? It can be a little hobby, it can be a opportunity for networking, it can be your main profession. Whatever goals you have for yourself, barbering can be used to fit into that mold. I know barbering was a thing that I would never put down. I'm right now, I quote unquote retired and it's a hobby, even though it's a main source of income, you feel me? But it's my energy with it is a hobby because I realize over time I've grown a lot of my business acumen. I've grown a lot of other skills and knowledge so I can take and apply a lot of things that I'm doing and learning in barbering and apply it to any other avenue in my life. I don't know if I consider myself a professional barber, even though, I'm professionally licensed and all that now, but all the skills that I've honed have other applications in my life. And it's only just made me a more valuable version of myself. There's been a few barber shows that I was planning on going to this year that I ended up just low-key flaking on, I'm not gonna lie. And I realized that I feel like I'm in a season where I'm not saying I don't want to be a barber anymore, but I'm not attached to barbering the same way that a lot of these other people are attached to barbering. Some people, get barber tatted on their soul, basically. Like, they brand themselves as a barber. This is what I do, live and breathe with this shit. Like, that's not how much I identify with it. It's something that has been a spiritual practice for me. It's something that's got me out of my darkest seasons. It's something that has grown me into a better version of myself. But realistically, I'm a tonsorial artist. That's a fancy word for barber. This has been a way for me to grow my artistic ability, my artistic vision. You know what I'm saying? I don't care about making money cutting hair for the rest of my life. I value the interactions that I've had, and those have really what grown me. Those are the things that have fed me, like on a spiritual level. So as long as it's feeding me spiritually, I'm going to keep cutting hair. I'm going to keep barbering. But barbers and haircutters aren't even the same thing. Like, haircutting is the art of cutting hair. Barbering has a lot more to do with the relationships that you built around the services. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's people that are great at cutting hair, but they are not great barbers. Being a barber is being somebody's partner in them looking their best. It's connecting with them, understanding what their objective is. It's more than cutting hair in exchange for money. It's about the relationship that you build. And the relationships that I've built over time have been what have really grown me as a person in every aspect of life. And that's what I really value. That's my real takeaway from this craft. Like, I don't care about cutting hair for money anymore. I care about trading value through my relationships. And then I just happen to do that through the medium of cutting hair. And now I feel myself go on the cusp of another season. I'm not sure exactly where this is going to lead me, but it always leads me to a better place. You feel me? And now I'm still identified as a barber, but I'm thinking, like, realistically, maybe in the next 2, maybe 3 years max. Like, I don't even think I'll be telling people I cut hair anymore. Like, I mean, I'll have like booking open, or actually I might close off my booking and have it specifically for, like, let's say friends, family, and then recommendations of friends and family. But I don't know how much I'm attached to doing this as a profession anymore. I just know that this is something I know I would never put clippers down. Like, for sure. It'd probably just be a hobby I do for my homies, for my family and stuff. I'm realizing that there's a lot more to life than this one craft that I've been grinding through for 8+ years. Like, I've never taken a vacation, and I don't feel like I need one personally, except for, like, sometimes I'm a little burnt out. But what I consider a vacation is just focusing my creative energy in a slightly different direction. And I'm not too pressed about doing any one specific thing. Before barbering sparked my heart, engineering had my heart, and then before that it was poetry. That makes me realize, like, whole time I'm just an artist choosing different mediums. Poetry, of course, art with words and whatever. Engineering is the art of problem solving, and haircutting / barbering is, tonsorial art. And now moving into a whole new season where it's almost like I'm like, every previous season I was in, I'm taking elements of that art and incorporating it and expressing myself in new kinds of art. Let's say poetry, language arts and stuff. That built my ability to communicate, you know what I'm saying? And then engineering built my ability to problem solve and think creatively. And then barbering grew my tonsorial ability, which gave me a means of connecting to certain people, which also got me into videography and content and stuff. And now I'm taking bits and pieces of each season and turning it into a new lane for myself. Now I don't even know what to call it. I'm doing content and doing other things, but the thing that's important is that it's feeding my spirit. So wherever I end up going, I feel like it's where I'm supposed to be headed, but I can't attach to the previous seasons, the previous versions of myself too much, because that's going to keep me from becoming who I need to become in this new one. But yeah, those are some reasons why I didn't want to be a barber. And I guess debatably reasons why I don't want to continue being a barber. I don't know. I'm excited wherever this journey is going to take me, because wherever it is going to grow me spiritually. And that's what's the most important for me personally. But I appreciate y'all watching. If y'all got any value, go ahead and like and subscribe. If you haven't already followed your boy on Instagram as well as TikTok, follow me at @CuzByElvis and @BetterBarbering. But I appreciate y'all watching. Till next time, Craft Over Clout. I'm out.